Another good guy, good friend of ours, is up next. Talk about a new gliding bait. Not a glider. We got Brandon Palaniuk. How you doing, BP?
I'm doing good, guys. Doing good. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. It's kind of an extension off of our Storm Arashi glide that we had. Can you guys hear me okay?
We hear you,
yeah,
yes,
we
sir.
can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So, Storm said, hey, what's another big bait that we can build? And for a lot of the guys from out west, I know that a bait in the 7-inch category is not considered a big bait,
No.
but for a lot of the tournament people across the country and the rest of the United States, 7 inches is pretty big to most people. So a major manufacturer like Storm, for them to get into that category is a pretty big deal. And with the success of the Arashi glide, we decided to make a 3-piece bait. So this is the Storm Arashi Swimmer. So just kept the names super easy. Glide bait, called this one a swimmer. So you're not going to have all that side-to-side action, much more streamlined and detailed, but you can see it resembles that glide body. But what we did is we actually slimmed it up and made it a little bit more dynamic for those faster presentations. So the big thing with this bait is I told them I want to be able to burn this bait as fast as I possibly can and stop it and burn it as fast as I can again and not ever have it blow out. And that's what we accomplished with this. And those body changes helped us be able to do that. Kept a lot of the same awesome features, like the rotating hook hangers on the bottom, same replaceable tail. It comes with a spare tail that's super easy to replace. And then we actually added on this one a rotating line tie. So the front has a line tie. You don't have to worry about adding any of your own swivels or anything like that. It's going to really reduce your line twist on the cast. And then it just helps ensure that no matter what angle that's at, this bait is always running true. It's all weighted in the bottom, and it keeps that low center of gravity so that you're able to keep this bait just barely under the surface. And when you fish it, it actually has a little bit of head movement, right? It's not just a straight head and then all in the tail. It actually moves, and you have a little bit of head wobble. So you kind of get that snake action going through there a little bit. So pretty cool. Got it all in the same great colors. This is green gill. I've got this one specifically because we're heading up north and we're going to have a bunch of perch swimming around. So a lot of times I use the green gill in these perch situations to imitate that. Throwing it last week down at Lake Fork, catching some that are still up chasing brim beds. And so really I use the glide a lot more when I'm in target situations and use the Arashi swimmer in more of those open water types of presentations, right? When I'm looking for those fish that are feeding up and a little bit more nomadic and roaming. So can be, smallmouth up north chasing perch, can be largemouth chasing trout, that are schooled up. And then also those guys that are looking for those blueback herring chasers across the Carolinas and down south.
Awesome, Brandon. Thanks for taking us through that. A lot of people kind of pigeonhole swim bait fishing as a slow presentation, but anyone who's ever been on that jointed bait burning bite knows how exciting it can be and how aggressive the strikes can be. Is this all year pattern for you, or is this mostly a post spawn? Can you talk about that and maybe the types of situations where you're going to look to that, as well as the tackle that you're going to fish that on?
Yeah, definitely. For me, I think post spawn is when you see it become the most used technique for me. And then really all the way in through summer. It just depends on the type of body of water you have and how those fish set up. And that's why I say, like smallmouth, I'll fish this all the way in through the fall. And it's really about when those fish, and the reason I'll get into kind of why it works so well in the post spawn is that's when you kind of see that swim bait, like glide bait or like your HUD type baits, they become less effective. I think that's you get kind of that summertime lull for the swim bait guys, and it's because those fish are just not reacting the same, and you essentially create that speed that makes those fish trigger, and especially those bigger ones. And that's, I think, the big key is you still have those fish that are in that transition period. You're able to cover a lot of water. I like to throw it on 20-pound tests, so I throw it on 20-pound Seagar, and then I throw it actually on a Daiwa Zillion HD in the 7.3 to 1, because I like to be able to burn it. And I like that bigger reel, that bigger handle that will work for that. Now, Daiwa just launched the brand new Tatula Elite 300. So that's probably what I'll go to for this. It kind of plays on that big bait game a little bit more. And then I throw it on a 7.9 extra heavy Alpha Angler rod. That same rod I throw the glide bait on. It's called a wide glide. So it's something that's got good backbone to it. For those people that don't have dedicated swim bait rods out there, you can get away with throwing it even on like a really big crankbait rod or something like that. You just want something that has a little bit of give when you're burning this bait, because the strikes are ferocious. It's like burning a spinner bait or something like that, where these fish come up and they just absolutely crush it, right? You're going 100 miles an hour the other direction, and here they come going the opposite, and they collide.
Sounds like a ton of fun to fish. And the Storm Arashi Swimmer is available for pre-order on the site now. So if you want to get in line, now's the time. You'll be probably competing against Brandon and Corey to make sure you get yours.